Hello again, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And yeah, this is the fourth topic from the course of vSphere automation with Terraform. In the last video, on the last topic, we have covered how to create or provision your first VM using Terraform in the simplest form. And in this video, we will make a more I don't want to say complicated setup, but we need to have the code properly organized for Terraform. So let's just get started, and yeah, let's create a new directory for this exercise. So yeah, let's call it 004 because this is the fourth video technically, so let's call it Terraform VM02. All right, and 004, yeah, great. Okay, now in the previous lesson, what we did here is we had just one single code file, and yeah, it works, and technically speaking, it's doable, it's viable, no problem with that. But it's not the best practice for organizing your code, because the bigger your code gets, the harder will it be for you to organize and troubleshoot. So it doesn't work. It won't work like that. What are we going to do? We will be cutting pieces from here and there. So let's first copy the entire code. I don't mind at all, and let's use it in our new exercise here. So let's just close this file, and here under the new exercise file, let's create again a main.tf file. Let's paste the entire code in here, but we can't live with it like that. We need to make few changes to it. So we need to put each sort of code, each type of code, let's say, based on different criteria on dedicated files. So the provider, for example, it can't really live here for longer than this. So I'm cutting the provider block from there, from the main file, and I'm creating a new file here. Actually, I will call it providers.tf. By the way, you can put multiple sorts of providers in your Terraform code. So maybe you have a project where you are engaging not only vSphere, you're engaging other stuff, anything else in Active Directory or anything else. You're making a complex environment, so you can add multiple provider codes, blocks of codes, and to be defined in your providers file. What else? Data. Yeah, the data should also go away. We don't need to keep the data here in the main file, so I'm removing everything data, and I will put it in. Let's create a data.tf. You can label the file whatever you want, but just let's keep it descriptive enough. So let's call it just data. That's it. Great. And let me create another file and call it variables.tf. We will get to that part in minutes, right? Let's get back to the main file. So we have few variables here, and it's starting here with the resource. So what is left in the main file is only the block of code for the virtual machine. Let's do something, because when it comes to the password, let's do a little change in here. So to the providers here, the password it's declared like this, and which is not really that nice. I will instruct Terraform to prompt me to enter the password each time I run the command. We will run it just a few times for you to get the feeling, and then I will put it back here again. So we need to declare this in the variable. So I will call it admin underscore password. Okay, this is the name of the variable, but to instruct Terraform to call it, you need to define it as a var dot admin underscore password. And it's underlined now because it's not yet declared, which is fine. So it's really good, because if we highlight, hover here, no declaration found for admin password here. Okay, which is fine. So I need to define a variable. So let's go to the variables file and let's create a variable block. What are we going to call it? It's the name of the admin password. It could find it easily. What's the type here? So the type is string, and that's it. And even if you remove string and you put just the opening and closing parentheses, the curly braces, it should just work. But yeah, let's just put the type for now, and yeah, it's string. So as you can see here, the warning from the provider is gone. Yeah, okay, let's keep it as is and let's proceed. What else? So let's go to the main and main file, and let's declare more variables. Here, the VM. Okay, let's give it a new name. Actually, let's make it VM2. And in the last topic, I have created a VM called VM1, but in this case here, I will make a little adjustment. I will call it just VM2. And the name of the VM. Let me cut this. I need this also to be a variable, so I will make it a variable dot VM underscore name. For example, yeah, you can call it whatever you want. Let's declare all in one shot later on. What's the number of CPU? And here this is an integer, but we can also pass it as a string. Let's give it a try. So variable dot, let me call it also just CPU, maybe, yeah, okay. The memory, let's call it var.ram, for example. And what else needs to be adjusted here? The network is fine. The label is fine. Yeah, the label, let's keep it as is. Here, yeah. What the host name should be, but let's just it doesn't matter. Yeah, let's declare a variable here for the host name, var.host name, or let's make it VM underscore host name. What's the domain here? Yeah, maybe you can just keep it here hard coded, by the way, it doesn't matter. We can just keep it here. I'll keep that domain here as is. It's fine. I will not declare it in a variable, but you can. Okay, all of these four needs to be declared over there in the variables file as a variable, so you can pass them in yourself. All right, so what do we need to declare? Let's go and see how intelligent the VS Code is to help us with that. So we have here 4 warnings or errors, and if we run the Terraform plan as is, it will not work, of course. Let's go to variables and let's go declare another variable, and let's call it this time. So we have declared the admin password. We can also, yeah, you know what? This is also missing. The providers. Yeah, we can also, yeah, we can also take this username as a variable, but let's keep it here for now. But in production, you should, of course, declare these as and also the vCenter server should also be declared as a variable. But yeah, I just wanted to have the password away just to keep everything here as secure as possible. Anyway, let's get back here and continue what we were doing. Okay, so what should be declared here now? I need it automatically to look up the things that we need to declare. So under the virtual machine, we can just call it VM. Yeah, now it's VM name as the first one. And of course the type is string, and the default value, otherwise it will be prompting you to enter the value. So the prompt value is Terraform course VM02. So this is the value here, which is the name. The default is this. You can also set value actually, if I'm not mistaken. No, not the validation. No. So just keep it as is. So that's the default, and this is just ignore. So the default value for this variable is this, unless you declare it or override it somewhere else. But we are not going to override it, so it will read it from here as is. What else? Variable. What else do we have? Again, VM host name. We have other parameters, of course, to declare. Type, string, and the default could be the host name. It's as the VM name. So Terraform course VM02. And by the way, if you'd like to use the name of the VM, you can just use this variable on both parameters. But let's just declare it separately in case you have a different name for the VM and the host name different from the VM's name. What's next? Variable. The resource configuration. So I believe it was CPU. And the type here is number, and the default value for it is, and let's see if it's going to generate errors or not. The default value is 2. Okay. Right, another variable for us. So as you can see here, the number of warnings or errors is decreasing. Variable RAM, yes, and the type once again is number, and the default value we need is 124 like this, so it's 1 gig. Nice. So this all were declared, and the indentation should be, it doesn't matter really, but I like to have it in a good format. Now one more. All right, so initially all good. This is a new Terraform directory with a new Terraform code. So let's, of course, we still need to make changes here, but let's initiate. Actually, let's complete the remaining work here, and then we will initiate it in one go. This time we're deploying the VM. Let's get closer here. Okay, so this time the resource pool. This time I'm going to deploy it to a cluster, not and the name of all of these will get different. So let's call this here data store 1, for example. Not NVMe, because I no longer have access to the NVMe. And let's update this across the code here. It should also go here. So the size, no, that's not needed here anymore. No, all right. Okay, so this is up to date. I'm sorry, this is changed to data store. Let's update it under the data, because I've changed the name of the block. So we no longer have a block. We don't have a block called data store 1. We have just NVMe 1. So I'm renaming this one to this, and I need a name here for the data store. So what data store in my cluster are we going to use? So this time here, yeah, this is the cluster, and let's check here the data stores. We have two actually, two data stores. And how much space do we have? We have a lot of free space, which is fine. It's called Terraform data store 02. So let me call it here, yeah, Terraform.datastore02. All right. Okay, great. So this is updated here and there, and the host, we no longer need this because we don't have a host to use. We're going to use the cluster, huh? We're going to deploy this to a cluster. So let's change this block. Let's create, actually, yeah, we can just make the changes here. We don't need to delete it. And yeah, just compute cluster. Yeah, and that's clever enough to highlight this. And the cluster name is, I will just call it cluster. I have just one cluster in my setup, so I don't care. Just cluster, that's it. What's the name of the cluster? We need to, of course, define the name. So the cluster name here is, yeah, Terraform cluster 03. Let's paste it here. And is there a missing? Yeah, there's a missing quote here. Yeah. What else is changing? The VLAN. The VLAN is changing. We no longer have a VLAN called VLAN 3 under this cluster. We have something else. Okay. It's under a distributed switch, by the way. So the distributed switch here is, yeah, this one. And let's use, for example, no, not iSCSI. Let's use VLAN 101. That's actually for good. Let's copy and VLAN 101, and yeah, so the name here is VLAN 101. By the way, I can keep these, which is fine. I can keep these. It will work, but yeah, it's not for organized. Yeah, it's not. I don't like it. So let's just give it the correct name here. So I will call it just VLAN. So it doesn't have a specific name, just cluster, just VLAN, and the simplest thingy just to save us time. The name of the template, now it's different. I can keep this name, it's fine, I don't care, but the template name is actually different here. Let's go to templates. Actually, again, yeah, let's go back to the cluster and check under this cluster what VMs it has. It should list the yeah, VM templates here as well. Here's the templates, and yeah, this is the same exact template, but it's just a clone of the template into my cluster and on the new data store or data stores. All right, so these are changed, and all of these needs to be, of course, updated over there. So let's get back to the main file. We need to make a few changes here. So is it a host? Of course not. It's no longer a host, and it's just the cluster. So it's compute cluster dot terraform dash cluster 3. No, it was called cluster, huh? Yeah, it was called cluster, and that's it. Yeah, if yeah, should any errors get generated, we can fix it easily. Data store, this is yeah, it's called data store 1. Yep. CPU, this is fine, this is fine. The firmware, no, this is different, please. Actually, yeah, I didn't change this, which is fine. This is fine, this is fine. The network interface, no, this is new one here. So we have a new VLAN, which is called just VLAN, huh? Yeah, .id, don't miss the required suffix here. And the disk, the size, yeah, from that template we did not change this, so it's fine. The clone, Yeah, please clone from this as well, and the network is fine. The host name, no, yeah, the host name will be picked up from there. I guess we are all good. So let's initiate. Hopefully we can finish within the coming 2 minutes. Yeah. So Terraform init. Let's see if something wrong goes. I hope not. Yeah. Nice. So the initiation was done correctly with no errors. So let's run Terraform plan here and see what happens. Okay, now what is it asking me for? If you can see, now it's asking me for the password. If you remember, okay, now I'm happy to enter it. Now you can see it as well. You can see it. Okay. And now it's preparing the plan. We have errors, which is fine. Terraform encountered an error with generating the plan. Why? It's unable again. It's unable to find the vCenter server. Here it has an issue. Yeah, line number 10. Client. Wrong password. Okay, could be a wrong password. So let me type it once again. Maybe I made a mistake over there. Yeah, now it's fine. It was just a wrong password. Okay, great. So we have no errors here, and we have one to be added with all of these parameters. You should review it. Please review it before you push anywhere, just to make sure that you are doing the right thing. The correct name here. This the hardware configuration. Number of CPUs is 2. The number of cores per socket is 1. We did not declare this, but it's fine. By default, it's set to 1, which is okay. EFI and nice. So let's run Terraform apply and auto approve. Again, it needs the password, and now it has just generated a new state file here. Okay, now it's doing something. I hope it works as expected. Now, yeah, it's doing something. Let's have a closer. Now, what is it doing? It's cloning the template, and let's have a closer look here at our, yeah, the VM is created. This one here, you guys. It's still waiting for the OS, of course, to start and make the necessary customizations to the OS in terms of the host name, etc., etc. So no errors so far. Yep, I will not pause the video. We can just, yeah, we still have a few more minutes, so we don't necessarily need to. I need you to see, yeah. So I'm not faking anything, huh? Yep, let's just drag here and there the different stage. Yeah, so it's powered on, and now it's customizing and reconfiguring the VM, blah 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 blah. Let's see what happens inside. Yeah, still deploying. Yeah, the VM should be powered on, if I'm not mistaken. Huh? Yeah, it's powered on now. Cool. So it's just finalizing the rest. All right, let me. Okay, excellent. So now, yeah, now we have it has successfully pulled an IP address, and here's the host name of the VM. The status here is successful, and yeah, voila. Okay, yeah, that was it. So let's get back to the presentation. So this part is done. So in the next video, we will be configuring, making a few changes, like, for example, yeah, just adding a disk or make a change to the VLAN. Okay, I will destroy this VM for now and then recreate it again in the next video together and then make changes to it. But let's just destroy it. Yeah, I don't know why, but I love destroying stuff. And also, is it going to ask for the password here? Yeah, I need to change this, huh? Yeah. So it's destroying it. Yes, please destroy. What? Yes. Okay, no. think I made a mistake here, huh? Yeah. Again, my passwords. Yes, and it's going to be the. But yeah, can you realize how fast is that? How quick was it for the VM to be deployed? How quick is it for a VM to be destroyed? You don't need to worry about this. You don't need to shut it down. Just right click, remove from inventory. You don't need via the interface here or via a silly PowerShell script to automate this. It's really, really easy. Just once you understand how it works, you have templates. You have pre-made templates, okay, that you can copy and paste and just make the tweaks, changes, and that's it. And in a future topic, we will go through how to deploy, okay, multiple VMs in this single code file. You don't need to, yeah, if you're deploying a cluster of similar VMs, how would you do this? Very simple and easy. Yeah, straightforward. No need to, yeah, to complicate things for us. And yeah, maybe in the beginning you'd struggle a bit to make the base code for your environment. And once that is ready, yeah, you will absolutely love it. Very fast, secure. And once you onboard it onto a CI/CD pipeline, oh, that will be fantastic. So you and your teams can, you and your team members can easily go through do changes via git repos, and yeah, less conflicts in provisioning, and it will be absolutely, and there will be an extra layer of security and review, so the other team members can also review your code before it's pushed to production. So yeah, it's really, really helpful. Yeah, the infrastructure as a code, and Terraform in particular. Yep, I think it's the time. Thank you so much for your time, and yeah, see you soon. Bye-bye.